have now the interpretation and grading system. Ito yung pinaka-most common, no? The norm reference and criterion reference. Now, very easy to remember. When you talk of norm reference, you just compare the individual result to the result of other students, which will be coming up na magkaroon tayo ng ranking. My first, my second, my third, my valedictorian, my salutatorian, ganyan. So, based on the achievement of the student, you are comparing their result. But, if you will be comparing the performance of a student on a predetermined criteria, or meron tayong mastery of skills, not to other children, but to the mastery of skills. Meron tayong mastery list, no? And that means it is a criterion reference. Ang pinagbabangga natin ay yung certain criteria, no? Kumbaga, we want a mastery of skills here. So, whether in our case na dito sa CABSU, pag nakakuha ka ng, kailan ba sasabihin natin na sila ay cum laude? 1.75, no? Naka 1.75 ka. Kahit siya kayo 12, 10, 100, lahat kayo ay cum laude. No, ganun siya. Yun kasi yung ating predetermined criterion doon. Pero pag pinang-compare natin, yung panahon kasi noon sa DepEd, may valedictorian, may salutatorian, may first honor. So that is a norm reference. Okay? And definitely, dito po pag pinag-uusapan ng criterion reference, hindi natin maiwasan yung salitang absolute grading system. It is a zero-based grading system. Walang dagdag bawas. No matter what will be your grade, raw score over the total times 100, yun ang grade mo. Hindi mababago yun. That is in criterion reference. Pero pag pinag-usapan ng norm reference, yan na tayo, may dagdag bawas dito. Lalo na po pag meron tayong tinatawag na relative grading system. Ito na yung, ilan na ba yung ipa-plus natin? No? Ano na ba ito? It's times 50, times 70. So, depende, no? Pero kalimitan doon ay 50. Which is raw score over the total score times 50. Naka-base 50 plus 50. Kasi pag nag-add ka ng times 70, dapat plus 30. Pag sinabi mo naman times 80, dapat plus 20. So, the higher the additional base, that means bumababa ang quality ng grades kasi pinamamigay mo na ang grades, no? Hindi maganda. Unlike with the zero-based absolute, ano talaga ang nakuha mo? Yun talaga ang grades mo. Kaya lang, medyo mahirap i-attain. Kasi ikaw ay naka-base sa mastery. Naka-mastery ka. And in this aspect, we need to be careful. As a teacher, you cannot use both in one class. Itong batang ito, gagamitin ko norm reference dito. Relative, times 50 plus 50. Itong batang kabila, ang gagamitin ko, absolute, times 50, raw score times 50, over, raw score over total times 100. Hindi po pwedeng gano'n. Kailangan, kapag gumamit ka ng relative, dapat lahat relative. Depende sa agreement ng administrators, ng coordinators at kanyo nung araw yan. Pero ngayon, ang ginagamit ko talaga ay absolute grading system. Lalo na or criterion reference. Lalo na po kung siya ay homogeneous sa klase, lahat ay marunong. Gandang gamitin yung criterion or yung absolute. Pero pag heterogeneous, may mahina, may magaling, mayroong average, mahirap pong gamitin ang criterion o yung absolute grading system kasi iba-iba ang kanilang level. But definitely, which is more advisable if you want a high quality assessment, maganda ang criterion. Maganda ang But we cannot avoid using relative. Depende sa needs natin. Okay? Now, what is the difference between the two? Specify natin talaga kung anong difference nila. To the next slide. Ayan. Sa norm reference po, as I mentioned, scores given as ranking, first, second, third. Pero pagdating sa criterion, percentage. 90% nakuha niya, 80% nakuha niya. Now, sa norm reference, pwede kang makapag-assess ng kahit kaanong karaming bata. Kasi exams lang, i-compare lang. Pero pag criterion, smaller number of students. And this kind of assessment can be finished within a class period, within a day. Samantalang kapag sa norm reference, pwedeng longer period of time ang pagkuha ng exam. Pero dito, hindi. Kung ano lang yung mastery of skills na makikita mo, doon ka itetest base doon sa standard no, qualities na hinihingi or expected, the predetermined mastery of skills you can see. So, after tayo sa mastery kapag criteria, the norm reference comparison ng one performance to another performance. I hope naiintindihan nyo, wag malilito po, ang criterion, ang kasama niya ay absolute. Absolute, may absolute ako dito, 100% pure. Pag sinabi namang norm reference, relative. Yan po ang may mga base. Base 50. Hindi. Sabi ko may absolute ako dito. 100%. 100% pure. Zero base.
No water.
Oo. Pag norm reference naman, yan ang relative. Yan ang merong base 50, base 30, depende po sa teacher. Okay, let us see. Let us try to apply. Kung naintindihan. There are two questions here.
The result of the National Achievement Test are interpreted against a set of mastery level. This means that NAT is categorized as an A or an blank test, criterion reference test, norm reference test. A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, either 1 or 2, D, neither 1 or 2.
Yun lahat. Ay, nakita akong smiley. Oo. Neither 1 or 2. Naka-smiley siya. Sino pa kaya? Heart, heart. Okay,
Madami po ang nag-heart.
Heart? Ang daming heart eh. Tingnan natin po ang kasagutan. The correct answer is the thumbs up. Bakit kaya thumbs up? Take note dun sa question, nakita nyo, mastery level. At paulit-ulit ko pong binabanggit kanina, again sa mastery, no? Kaya po doon, yung NAT natin, National Achievement Test, which is a standardized test also, we are setting a mastery level. So, pag nakita kayo ng term na yon, that is automatic po tayo ay criterion reference. Wala namang pinakitang comparison ng one performance with another. So, our correct answer is the heart, or the thumbs up, letter A, which is criterion. Let's try again. The next question.
Teacher Carlo does a norm reference interpretation of scores. Which of the following does he do? A, he compares every individual student with other scores. B, he describes group of performance in relation to a level of mastery set. C, he uses a specified content as its frame of reference. D, he describes what should be their performance.
Daming thumbs up ha. Thumbs up, thumbs up. Walang naliligaw. Yes, Carlo, you want to speak up? Yes, Teacher Carlo. Wanna speak up?
Letter A po, ma'am.
Why letter A?
Kasi po, ma'am, kina-compare niya pa yung mga student.
And it is?
Norm reference po yun po dyan.
Very good. Kasi pag norm reference, binanggit natin kanina, comparing individual student with the other students in reference, in relation to their scores. Like with the one, yung level of mastery, mayroong reference, meron ding describe lang ang performance. So, doon po, hindi natin makita. That unlike with comparison talaga, which norm reference talaga ang ating pinag-upload. So, the correct answer is the thumbs up, which is letter A. Okay po. Let's have the next one. We are now approaching the test construction, and when you are making about to make a good test, you have to know the different attributes. So, some of the terminologies have been encountered already in the previous topic. So, let's have the first one is validity. So, anong sinabi ko sa inyo, this is very important. Every time you measure what you intend to measure, validity. Dapat yung content nyo, yung din ang laman, yung content na itinuturo nyo, yun din ang laman ng examination nyo. Baka naman kayo turo ng turo, tapos hindi naman lumabas sa exam, hindi siya comprehensive. So, hindi siya valid. Dapat naka-align ang inyong lesson sa inyong examination. Okay, next one is reliability. There is consistency. The result will always be the same. No matter how many times you have repeated it, walang changes sa result ng bata. Kung meron man mild lang, but you are consistent with the result that they have obtained. Whether nagkaroon pa ng 1 linggong patlang, o nabago lang na ganito, o binaligtad nyo lang ang position ng mga questions, pero still, ang sagot pa rin nila ay the same. So, there is reliability. Objectivity, there's only one answer and there is no bias. So, ganon. Hindi yung ang daming possible answer sa tanong. No? Mahirap kasi pag subjective. It is always based on the perception or opinion of other people. But basically, alam naman natin pag subjective, nakaka-develop ng higher order thinking skills. So, pag gumawa kayo ng subjective test like essay, it should be something specific and precise and challenging also to the part of the students. Lalo na pag mga problem solving. Now, scorability. Dapat madaling scorean, madaling checkan. Hindi yung kayo mismo pahihirapan yung sarili. Nagbigay kayo ng exam, hindi nyo malaman kung paano checkan. Ang hirap yun. So, you have to consider the scorability. A multiple choice is very good. Mahirap siyang gawin, pero madali siyang checkan. Now, kapag gagawa ka ng multiple choice, dapat very, very careful kayo to make it what? HOTS, higher order thinking skills. Kapag depende yan sa inyong mga questions. Now, in administrability, dapat madali din siyang i-administer. Ang gagamitin yung mga words ay just simple and understandable. O mga high-sounding words or high-polluting words na hindi naman maintindihan. Dapat nasa access din o nasa level din ng ating mga estudyante. Now, same thing here, balances siya. Meron siyang higher order thinking skills na questions, meron din siyang lower order thinking skills na questions. At nagko-cover siya ng that is in relation to cognitive domain. Kapag kasi exam, ang tinetest natin usually kapag gumagamit tayo ng examination ay more on cognitive. Kaya pag sa TOS, makikita nyo doon ang Bloom's taxonomy, yung cognitive level from remembering hanggang doon sa evaluation, which you will see later. So, balance dapat. Difficulty, depende sa age ng bata. Kung pang-kinder, huwag niyong bibigyan ng pang-high school. O pang-high school, bibigyan niyo ng pang-kinder. Hindi siya magiging challenging. Baka maging boring yung estudyante. So, meron tayong different type on how to test the difficulty of the test. Ibigay po yan, didiscussin po siya ni Sir Parales about the index of discrimination and academic difficulty. That will be a part ng ating second part ng ating assessment. Now, fairness, consider the multiple of intelligence of the students in giving the examination. And lastly, efficiency. In answering, you have to consider the time and you have to consider also the resources. And there are times sa part ng teacher, we can recycle the examinations, no? Pwede namin gamitin siguro after ng next year or another year, pwede nyo sabihin kung applicable pa. Or you can just change it. Kung yung unahan ng papel ay may sulat, but still you can still use the back side of it na pwede another exam, ilagyan nyo lang ng X yung unahan, still can be recycled. The questions can also be recycled as long as you can restate it. Do not use verbatim. When I say verbatim ko, ano yung eksaktong tanong sa book, yun din ang ilalagay nyo sa inyong exam. Huwag naman. Let us try to make it a bit challenging sa ating estudyante. Hindi spoon-feeding. Okay, so these are the attributes of a good test: validity, reliability, objectivity, scorability, administrability, and balance, difficulty, fairness, and efficiency. So let us apply again. Do we have questions here related to attributes? Okay, there are 3 questions here. So a test is considered reliable if A, it serves the purpose for which it is constructed. B, it is consistent and stable. C, it is easy to administer. And D, it is easy to score. Wow, heart lahat tong nakikita ko. Heart na heart. So, answer reveal.
Bakit heart?
Ayan. Bakit daw heart? Kasi nakita nila yung term na consistent. No? Consistent. Yan kasi ang kailangan sa reliability. If the test is consistent and stable. Okay? Tapang-tapang easy to administrability yun. Is ka naman scorability. So the purpose yun, it serves the purpose which how you have to construct. Okay, next one. 3 questions lang to na Okay, next question.
Teacher EJ, a trigonometry teacher, prepared an examination for her grade 10 students. She constructed more items in the topic trigonometric functions because she spent longer time teaching it her class. What attribute of a good test did teacher EJ consider? A. Objectivity, B. Efficiency, C. Balance, or D. Discrimination?
Nag-thumbs up. Nag-clap hands. Okay, the correct answer is letter C. Anong code natin dito? Clap, 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 clap. Ano? Clap, clap, clap. C. Bakit kaya balance siya? Kasi balance dahil kinonsider natin ang alin? Na-spend na longer time in teaching in her class. No? Nakadepende doon. Binalansin niya. Yan. Unlike kapag objectivity, yung purpose. Yung efficiency man is saving time. Yung discrimination naman, yung level ng difficulty ng bawat subject. Ito, gusto niya maging balance. Kaya kino-consider niya rin sa kanya. So the answer is balance.
Which characteristic of a good test will pupils be assured of when a teacher constructs a table of specification for test construction purposes? A. Economy, B. Reliability, C. Scorability, D. Validity.
Okay, nakakita na ako ng smiley. Tatlong smiley. Puro smiley. Ang gagandang ngumiti. Sana nakikita ko kayo na actual ang mga ngiti nyong yan. Let us reveal the answer. So, the correct answer is validity. Now, later on, malalaman nyo kung ano yung type ng validity. Isang type ng validity kasi ito, yung content validity. No? If you are after with the purpose of your examination, dapat kung ano yung content mo, yun din ang content mo sa iyong tinuturo, yun din ang content ng exam mo. So, you have to be assured na meron kang table of specification every time you are making an exam, lalo na kapag siya ay mga long exam, to ensure that balance and comprehensiveness, no? Comprehensiveness, when we say comprehensive, whatever the content of your topic will also be the content of your examinations. The economy is practicality, reliability is consistency, scorability is the way to easy score for the examinations. Let's proceed. Now, I had mentioned already about the different types of validity. So, let me reiterate again. The first one is face validity. When you are saying face validity, you are just after with the outward peripheral or the outward look, no? Yung physical appearance of the instrument per se. Doon pa lang sa unang tingin nyo sa exam, ay mahirap to. Ay, ang daming maling spelling. Ay, ang daming magulo. Hindi maganda ang mga linya. So, sa una pa lang, na-judge nyo na with the outer appearance or outer look ng isang exam. This is the lowest form of validity. You are just merely observing or ocularly looking at the examination. Now, the content validity, this is now what am I referring to you a while ago when you are making a table of specification. Bakit nagkakaroon ng TOS? Because you want to maintain or attain balance in your exam. So, the content validity will show the alignment with the objective, with the program, with the course syllabus. So, whatever will be the content of your objectives of your topic or lessons, that will be aligned to the content and questions that you have to give in your examination. So, yan ang content validity. Now, construct validity is quite hard. Ito po'y mahirap kasi we are more studying here behavioral and psychological traits or factors influencing test score. This is the hardest part to measure. Kaya mga psychology, ito po ang kanilang ginagamit in relation sa finding out the validity since they are after with the behavior. Okay, the next one, we have another type of validity. Okay, criterion, but this is the best type of validity. They can be called as predictive or concurrent validity. Now, when do you say it is predictive? A test is accurately predicts future performance for a longer time interval. Let's say, for example, in the different examination that you have in CABSU, kita nyo ang tataas ng inyong grades, lalo na kapag math major, ang tataas ng mga grades niya sa inyong major examinations, no, sa math. So most probably, you can predict that in the examination that you are about to have, maybe sa ating left or sa ating exam na kukuhanin nyo, in the future, you will still excel in mathematics. So, depende kung saan kayo nag-excel. That is predictive. But if you will be comparing two examinations that are related, at the same time, concurrently now, no, magkasabay yon, that is what we call concurrent validity. So, ang naging difference lang nila ay yung oras. Kapag ikaw ay longer period ang interval, yun po ay predictive validity. Pero at the same time, ang comparison, that is concurrent validity. And this is one of the best because there you have to set criterion or standardize ang isang test, ang isa naman ay or two related tests are being compared. Okay? Tested. So, repeat, ano po yung atin? The poorest one is face validity, yung outward look lang ng exam. Then we have the content validity, yun yung pinagbakan ng exam that you test to make it valid. Construct validity, the hardest one because it's more in psychological and behavioral. The best one is criteria that can be predictive. So let us proceed to the question, please.
What type of validity does the pre-board examination of Let's Review project of Alumni Association possess if its results can explain how the students will likely perform in their actual board examination? A. Concurrent, B. Construct, C. Content, D. Predictive.
Hindi nag-smiley na. May lumundag na namang smiley. Puro smiley. The answer is predictive. Why do you think it is predictive? It is very obvious because the one that we are performing right now is a part of Let's Review project that we have, no? And this is always for you because we are after with the welfare of everyone. And with this, if you found out that you are good, the results of all your examinations that you have taken here, most probably we can predict that your performance in the actual board examination will also be good. You will be a good performer. So the answer is smiley, which is letter B, predict. Next question, please.
Ma'am Connie,
For what? Ayan po.
a mathematics major, took the LET last January 2022. After the exam, she was bawling her eyes out because the items in majorship has a lot of mistakes like given equations were not properly aligned, strange symbols, font styles or sizes are different, and many more. What is the problem with the test questionnaire? Letter A, face. Letter B, construct. Letter C, content. Letter D, criteria.
So, more thumbs up ang nakikita ko. Wala pang naliligaw. Thumbs up. So, reveal na po tayo ng answer. The answer is letter A. Naka-thumbs up tayo, which is face validity. Bakit kaya face? Kasi it's just only a matter of the outward or outlook appearance, no? Yung itsura lang ng test. Ang daming mistakes, no? Ang daming symbols, font size hindi naintindihan, so many more. So, face siya. Construct ay behavior, content ay dun sa objectives na naka-align sa inyong exam. Ang criteria naman, whether predictive or conduct. So, let's have the next. Okay, which is assured when a table of specification or table of specifications is used in preparing tests. A, concurrent, B, construct, C, content, D, predictive. They are clapping their hands. Clap, clap, clap. The answer is, okay, we have content. Content validity. Kasi table of specification ang pinag-uusapan. No? And that pag sinabing table of specification, dapat naka-align ng content, ang topic, and objectives with the examination that we have. Ulitin ko ang concurrent, the same exam being compared. No? Construct, behavioral, predictive is longer period of time. They're the same exam.